What's going on, YouTube? We got our second part of our exploration video. Up to this point, we have beat Margaret, first boss, and first area, Limgrave. Now we're gonna open up the map, kind of show what we've been doing. We just beat him. We're over here at the shack. We're gonna go explore to the right side. And yes, some of it's sped up, so other voices, like we said last video, or like we said last video. We're gonna go explore, open up some map, do a couple dungeons, and I marked that so you guys can see it. Just played it a while, know where it is. So that's where we're heading. Gonna get this map unlocked. We're gonna go to a little few areas, take out the dragon in the lake, take out a boy Patches, then head down to Fort Height, and then we're gonna go to Castle Morn, I believe is what it's called. That, I think, where the video ends. May take out a bell-bearing guy as well, too. So part of the fun of the game, again, is the exploration. You can just spend hours just kind of floating around getting every single item. Throughout the series here, I may either skip over some of just like the running around, mainly just for time's sake, keep the videos shorter, but everyone should get the gist, direction, and all that stuff ready to go. So Mistwood is kind of a weird area. Rhea Riverwell is here. There's also these things called rune bears. All one right there to the right. I just wouldn't mess with them. They're kind of nasty, especially at kind of lower level. So at your own risk. Like, sneak in and grab stuff, but kind of wicked fast and aggro. And again, like I said in the last video, if you're new to the games, I suggest taking time to fight everything. And right there. Kind of learn move sets, get used to these type of games. But as you get more comfortable, or if you already feel pretty comfortable, or confident. All right. You can just skip over all this. A lot of these enemies, like I said, just do not yield the amount of runes that are worth it. No gear items, or like in the way of something, sure, right? But a lot of the open world stuff is not. What we just did here is went in this wood. I'm not really sure how the timing works on this guy being asleep or not. He's been asleep and not been asleep a few times. Or whatever. There's your talisman. So you see we have an Erd tree over here. That one's actually pretty important. You get your flask opened up. Be able to use it as the game progresses. Go ahead and hit this side of grace. Like I said, if you want to come back and explore everything and really dive in, every item, you know, so on and so forth, feel free. And I have the Sites of Grace all in this guide. Alright, so there's a golden seed right here. A bunch of these guys. Can hop out and fight them. I find it easier just to throw them back. And that's a mad pumpkin head. At this point in the game, we'll do some pretty good damage to you, and the weapon does bleed as well. But they kind of suck. All you have to do is make sure you're not hitting them in the head. Really in the front. Like that. This guy. Look at that, a pumpkin helm. Alright, so that's random. I don't think I've gotten that in any other playthrough. New Game Plus. Plus. So that's pretty funny. Get it on this one. Alright, so Lord Height has a very important item over here. Up top in the chest. You don't have to do it. Most annoying in the entire game. Rats. Alright, so you do get a cookbook, but up top, much more important items, though. Make sure you stay away from these barrels. I got lucky. Up here past Dickhead, we throwing this. Is one of these kind of bigger guys. And that is how you take care of that. And you get Bloody Splash. Which is pretty good, especially for like dex builds. If people do miss this, have to come back. You know, it just makes you more annoying. Make sure you climb this ladder. That's your Dectus medallion left. Alright, so what that does, open up the next part after Khalid's part of the game, Atlas Plateau, the Grand Lift of the World. Alright, so what we did here is we went back to this wood ruins where we were that bear. Went to that Erd tree I showed you. All it does is, there's not an actual Erd tree avatar here. Yeah. And there's your class. There's a lot of these little guys in this area. Check out over here. Before we do that, we're gonna pop in here. And the reason why I don't feel like really going through this before I left this on normal speed is how long this well is. This lift is, I think it's got to be the longest in all gaming. Absolutely nuts. Just to give this place like the scale and perspective. Alright, so what we're doing here, popping down the other side of Grace. Back up the lift. Gotta go all the way back up. And then we continue on to the church. Alright, so let's continue on, head towards the church. Alright, so this is probably maybe our second church. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, that's our third. flask. Anyway, this one's the most important because you get that. The flask of wondrous physic. Basically, you can just add boost, one-time use, multiple. I think we talked about last video, but multiple different combinations to build your character up. Take out those Erd trees on the map as you open them. That's how you get different bubbles and stuff in there. Obviously, later games are harder. So all I did was skip a little cutscene there. So sorry about that. What we're doing here is we're trying to get up to the start of Caelid, and there's a church up here. You just go straight up the lifts where we just were, and you're gonna get invaded here before you get to this church. Be prepared. There's a ton of damage, like late game. Let's see how we put on our flask. Kind of want to show how it worked. This one is the dam mitigation for one time. I kind of forgot how Wild Strikes works, so probably could have killed her there. Hit her back, you know what I mean? Alright, so once she's dead. One I've never looked up, like, her story. Tarnished Eater. Couple cookbooks. Boom. Alright, so now we've got to start into Caelid. Check out the build for right now. 28. Really good place and pace that we're on. Alright, so I left this part of the video in. Really probably could have skipped it. Just told you guys. Basically all I'm doing here is I'm going up and getting some Sights of Grace and one key item that really helps. Like we did the Rusted Anchor. Our kind of in-game weapon here is right up here. You're gonna die at this low level getting hit by these enemies. So make sure you just speed through, grab it, call it a day, basically. I went back and got my runes. It doesn't really, like, we only have 1400, so there's not a lot to lose. So make sure you level up before you do this. If you can't, whatever. The preserving stuff, that's how you get rid of afflictions like we talked about. So make sure you're doing that and getting these items. Because it does matter. You know, as you face like Millennia or you know, Commander Nile. Nail. I don't know how to say his name. He's a bitch though. Alright, so just for record, at level 28, really at any level, these things, the dogs are annoying, but you can kill them. The crows, dude, the crows are so annoying, no matter what level you are. They're just so aggro. So what I do, go around to the right here, sneak down. Gonna die most likely. I think I do die getting it. Because the other thing this game does that's, I mean, all of them do something like this, but grab an item and you can't get it off your screen fast enough to do anything. Thought I stuck by him. That's not. There's the crow. Alright, well, see, we got the great sword. Moved out of there. I did die. Went back, got my runes. Came back to this site of grace. So we're going to continue our mission from here. Up here is an artist shack. No idea what the paintings do. I'll keep that honest, but gotta be an achievement thing or something. If you're trying to platinum the game, I guess. Get all these. Yeah, I don't know what those do. So, I have no more information for you than that. Where you've done. There you go. Alright, that was worth the clip. I don't know what these messages mean. Whatever. Alright, on to the next. What we did is circle back to Limgrave tunnels, which is in the first lake area that you see the game below Margaret, right after the first area. And there's a dragon down here. Probably see the symbol for your summons. We're going to beat him up. First dragon, you know, that we're going to fight of many in this game. I'll show you how you kind of take out these kind of big dogs. What you do is run over this area. Comes down and does that. You can use your summons, obviously. Doesn't really matter. All dragons, when they fly, make sure you're going out and to the left. When he does this, completely random, this RNG just sucks. Another way I can say it. He's not really supposed to be up here, because if you notice, sometimes he'll disappear if he doesn't fly back down. So if they don't fly away immediately, sorry, they're doing that slam attack. Some dragons later in the game have like affinities, scarlet rot, poison, ice. Obviously this one's not going to have those because it's a standard one. And they do bleed pretty well. He's going to land like way up there. And disappear. Like I said, it's outside of his area. The good news is they'll have the same health when you come at it. Just like the worst thing in the world would be like that respawn. In fact, I'm pretty sure that they may, I don't know if they patched that, but I've done it before and they have, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, just like the video says, I mean, this guy's not that bad, but all you're looking for, keep smacking on the legs. If you get lucky and hit a couple headshots, he's about to slam down on me. With the strength build, if you're following along, the weapons we use, we are going to stun these guys a lot easier than everyone else. And I ran the other way. Yeah, you want to run the left there. Kill my horse. Alright, so good news is, if you do this, as soon as you see him fire him up, I always go left. I guess you can theoretically go right. Hit him in the head a couple times, just a little bit more damage. We should have already staggered him by now, but I guess not. But either way, that's how you take this guy out. A lot of runes early on, and get your first dragon heart. Use these for different spells that we'll show you later in the game, but dragon communions. Right next to the dragon is this little ruins area. There are two tunnels here. This is the good tunnel, and then one that's still great, but not so good for this level. And I'll explain why. This one has a twin blade. It is on the further left side. The closest one to the front of the entrance is the other tunnel, which we're going to run to real quick. It's called a transporter. Basically like, so we're on the back side. Here's the other one. Basically, smoke fog ensnares you, and you get transported to another location. Generally, something with some good items. This one, unfortunately, is a lot higher level than what we need to be, or what we are, to do it. We're going to skip that. If you want, you can run down to the site of grace, which is what I unlock here. The reason I unlock it, like I said, you can always fast travel back later. So I don't have to rediscover this. I don't have to go anywhere. I just go right to the tunnel. If you want to knock it out quick, you can use summons for co-op. There's an like I'll show you in a second at the entrance, but you have these little like centipede guys. We don't have the facilities to take these guys out right now and not waste our 3 health shots. Right there, that's your summoning pool. Pop a gold finger curling call. That's what they call the inventory. If you follow along, you'll have some, and you'll see summon signs for co-op if you want to do it. We're all the way over here. So now, actually, skip back around, and we're going to take out, I think this is where Patches is. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's like where Patches is. Murkwater Cave. I'm showing you this. This all skeleton enemies. I think I showed you before, but you have to hit them while they're blue like that, else they will continue to come back. You don't have to fight these guys right here. Certainly run away. You're getting, like, the reason why I say that, it's not like the whole bitching out. I told you guys, just like, there's a lot of enemies that aren't worth fighting because of the runes. Look what we're getting right here. I mean, barely effort into it. I'm not even moving to get out of the way of hits. And we got 396 runes. I mean, 56 a piece. That's a waste of time. Alright, so there's Murkwater's entrance. You're going to get invaded. Let's just start up Yoria's questline, our samurai friend. This guy invades you. He's got a Reduvus. It's a dagger. Blood loss build up and shoots these little things at you. Honestly, I find it better to stay aggro and just beat the shit out of them. Let's do that. Get a roll caught there. See, if you let him hit you with that, it does absolutely do a ton of damage. See? If you wait long enough, or can stay alive long enough, Yuria, that's him talking, should be on his way to help you. So start of his quest line. It's a cool one. You end up with like Eleanor's pole blade and his armor. I think you get the Nagi Bata from that as well. But in this, he's really used to love you. Hey, thanks for showing up, pal. We'll see you later. Alright, so we're going to go rest over here at the entrance. And instead of doing this right now, we're going to push forward, talk to our boy, Yuria, up here. And that's literally, instead of going in here, just keep going straight. And we're going to do the catacombs first, come back and handle this later. Alright, so we push forward. All you're doing is going straight there. He'll be right here. He explains his stuff. Alright, that's it. Then we push forward some more. And we're going to go inside the catacombs. Alright, make sure you hit your site of grace here. And then we're going to push forward. All catacombs work the same for the most part. Early game at least. Late game you have some puzzles and some really kind of different enemies. A lot more fun. Make sure you grab your cohorts. Glove Fort, sorry. Ghost and Grave as they're here. These imp guys spawn out of nowhere. There's a button right there. I forgot this guy was behind me. There's a button right here that shoots fire arrows. I'm supposed to kill them. Didn't. Yeah, that really worked out, huh? Nice. Pierce damage is really good against them, which is what this weapon is. As well as, like, obviously anything that staggers, like our big great sword if we could use it. Already has the Boss room door open. Oh, we just gotta get there. So we got 3 cats. By the way, if you haven't noticed, I do not play with auto lock on. Have never in any of these type of games. I hate when it randomly switches, like right there, to switch to one that I didn't want to hit. Sometimes it's helpful. All right, so this dude's just kind of cool. All these, there's rotten duelists later in the game as well. But you get his weapon, the brick hammer. It is a good weapon. Not my cup of tea, but it's really fun to use. It's not particularly the best in any category, except strike damage and whatnot. And it's short, that's really the problem. I do wish it looked like his. Alright, so now all we did was warp back to the other cave, Murkwater Cave, right beside where we just were. I'll run you through this real quick. And Patches, who, if you have played any of the other Dark Souls games, he's, you know, a memorable face. They kind of sprinkled him in here. And all of those games, for record, won't spoil anything, he tries to kill you in some way, and then has like a redemption, where he becomes a vendor, or later in the game can help you to some capacity. Most of the time it's vendor. And he says he's sorry and blah blah blah. We kill Patches. Okay, that's a quest line. You end up with the bull goat armor. I don't care. This guy kicked me down a cave in Dark Souls 2. Is that right? And I lost a lot of souls. So, which is, that game's ruins. Patches is extremely weak. Alright, so when you get him down to quarter health, he does this. But for all the times, you'll see a ton of messages for that. You gotta die. You have to die. Alright, so when you kill an NPC, because that's technically what he is, storyline, you get a bell bearing, which you can take back to the vendor at the round table and buy his items anyway. Alright, I know the clips just skipped. Something happened in the encoding, so apologize for that. Audio over clip sometimes does that. We're back here in Limgrave, and what we're doing is we're going to continue a little exploration. Get this side of Grace, and I'm going to show you this enemy. This is up in, I think, like little lake area towards Khalid. Old Summon Water Village, I think. These boat guys are kind of an interesting boss. They're pretty cool the first time, then they get old. These are one of the repeat bosses. They do disappear like that. They're pretty, like, easy. You just summon some skeletons. It's kind of dumb, but they do drop good stuff most of the time, or at least are guarding good stuff in these villages. So they're not very aggro either. They generally just summon people. Do like 1 or 2 attacks where, like, he'll do this, right? And when he drops down, it explodes. Most of the time, they kill their own summons. Of course, anything that staggers is good. If you feel overwhelmed, you can always just take out the summons. Much better to just take this guy out, 'cause he's just going to have more of them. Alright, see. Just took out everybody he just summoned. Well, I think it's kind of a... Like, it's cool the first time you see it, but it doesn't like a real boss, obviously. You also can't critical hit it after you stun it. Kind of like the tree sentinels. Which really makes no sense. He's just like in a boat. It's not like he's burned by anything, particularly. I guess because he's a spirit. Not sure. Anyway, once you kill him, everything else will die. You can explore the area. So that's just, you know, showing you a little mini boss. You get some ashes from him, which is, you know, pretty good. For early game, a little different than the ever dying wolves. Alright, the village that he's guarding actually has a really good talisman in it. You have to burn one of your stone sword keys, put it in there. Most of the time, it is useful to use them. I'll try to make sure I show you the ones that are, this one being one of them. Really, really good talisman. Great talisman. What that does is increase your stamina recovery speed a lot. So like your swinging stop because you're almost out, you have to wait a significantly less amount of time. So all we did was go up. I showed you on the map there quickly, but go up to where Thornhill Shack was. Go right. Find the War Master Shack up there. This guy sells you spirit ashes. Ashes of War. So you can get, you know, different ones that are better for your build or weapon or whatever. Doesn't sell a ton of them. Wait till night here, and then this guy shows up. And as the game progresses, these guys get way harder. They're still a hard early game. They do a ton of damage. And so it's sick move. You can get this sword and a smaller version of it later in the game. You can actually make like this whole build. Sorry, you gotta be quiet in these fights. I love the one-on-one night fights like that in these games. Alright, so we took him down. Now we're traveling past the bridge, bottom side of the map. We're going down to the big castle. We're gonna take that on. First, we're gonna use all these, like I've shown you guys before. Level up, then we move on. Alright, the start of this area can be a doozy. But realistically, you guys can definitely handle it. You can almost die here. Just don't let them be like gang up on you. That's why I like using summons. Kind of like an old like football scrum video or something. Dog pile. You take all these guys out, grab your items, your butterflies, and I'll probably be as quiet as possible during the run of the castle. You do have, I think, a Mad Pumpkin head up here as well to deal with, so you know, take him out. Up at the top, we started the chick's quest line where she asks you to deliver a letter to her father. He's stuck up here. Make sure you go up there, talk to him. I kill him, grab his halberd. Good weapon to have. But This area also gives you one of the legendary weapons in the boss arena, which is really cool, really good for strength builds. Just, it's the Iron, or Game of Thrones sword. It's Iron Throne. It's really cool looking, so definitely worth getting. Doesn't matter what playthrough you're on. Just fun to get. And it's, you know, free runes in this area as well. So please make sure you do this. Follow what I'm doing. And I'll catch you guys probably in the next video. Thank you very much for watching, subscribing for those that do. I'm going to keep these coming. DLC out a couple days, so I'm going to churn and burn these videos for everyone. And definitely do a separate video just for Mog. So enjoy. Thank you very much.
I'm Edgar. You can see menial. They gave me good foul, crime, sorrow, whatever. Take this. Listen, thank you, but I can't. Even if I can, sure that if you, her father will. If you see Arena, her father will. If you see Arena, her father. Please, what's got it? The Lord of this castle, I will stand for it no longer.